In today's video, we'll go over some updated continuation targets for Bitcoin as long as this current trajectory is still maintained. And first, a major announcement, a very, very important announcement on actually how to choose rich by our good old friend, the Balkan Dwarf. He's finally let us know exactly what you must do. Let's listen to the tutorial. What? Oh my God! He's here! Oh, let it never stop. Let it never stop. I absolutely love it. Oh, you have to love it, man. Anyways, first things first, I did want to give a big update with our daily statistics. So with the Krown range statistics right here, I am looking at Thursday, and I've been noticing, as well as other people, that for Thursdays for the past couple of months now, Bitcoin has actually been, mostly going up. And it's actually Tuesday, which is the day that Bitcoin has seen some actual downside. Now, if you're new to this channel, this has actually been inverted essentially from the full history of Bitcoin, where that was complete opposite. And in this case, we can actually validate that statement as I am measuring the range from basically when February started to current date, and Thursday now has over 71% hit rate, or not hit rate, but probability for closing positively since that time, with an average return actually not super interesting right here, but just around 1% on the positive side, and on the negative side, 1.61%. I want to juxtapose that completely against what we did see basically in the past, basically for the full history of Bitcoin, but I don't need to go back too far for that. Realistically, we can go all the way. Hey, what? Hold on, that does not make sense. There we go. We'll go all the way back to, in this case, 2010, and I don't know, Bitcoin started somewhere around here, so I'm just going to start with that. And you can see that Thursday is and has been actually the worst day for Bitcoin, traditionally speaking. So what is that a signal of? It's a signal of the changing times, of course, and I just think that that's worth an update right now, and I'd really be interested to see how that potentially continues onwards and forwards from here, as now Thursday has been quite nice. In fact, basically every day, has been pretty nice to Bitcoin Boolaws, as you would imagine. But again, since February 1st, this has been completely different realistically. And like I said, actually every day is pretty damn good, except for Tuesday, which was formerly the most likely to close positively day for Bitcoin. Also, it should be known that since February 1st, which is in my opinion where this run really started to get kind of going in a more serious manner, Wednesday is the day with the biggest positive returns at 4.5%. Now, yesterday, Bitcoin did trade up from the open to close about 2.5%, so it's actually underperforming that particular statistic. But ultimately, today, Thursday, is set up likely for another drive of continuation right here. So we'll go into our stochastic momentum chart, or actually a stochastic momentum chart right in over here. Bitcoin once again succeeded the momentum pivot from yesterday's video. The new momentum pivot is 72,370. We've seen some pretty what feels very, very volatile days recently, where Bitcoin will travel, up and down a couple $1,000, and it's just a range play. Nothing crazy has happened. Yesterday was a good example of that after yesterday's video. But in this case, 72,400 or so would be the daily closure for today. That needs to be maintained to maintain current momentum position to the upside. I should say, again, things are in the extreme critical zone. It's not going to stay here for forever, and my personal opinion, my personal view is that this rally will find a local top, probably not a macro top. I don't think it's topping out for forever, but a major local top, not in the next 2 weeks, but likely the 2 to 4 week segment after that. So basically April, basically April. Likely a local top with a nice retracement. Until then, seems like most things are going to continue to favor the Boolaws here. Anyways, going to the daily HPDR bands, we can see that Bitcoin continues to play above the 50% of historic returns range high right here. That was the low for the past couple days, and yet again, Bitcoin did almost tested on the downside move to open up today. It is actually at 72,250, so very much in alignment really getting confluence over here with both that and the daily stochastic momentum pivot. So basically what does that say? As long as Bitcoin is closed above that number, upside still remains the most likely thing to be happening here. And the next sort of area of interest to the upside, which would, if exceeded on a daily closing base, suggest another volatile breakout, would be above the 61.8 level right here, which is 74,100 or so. If you see Bitcoin above there, then I mean, we're going to see a couple other things, including this suggests that somewhere into the very up 70s, like 77 to 78,000 bucks becomes a realistic likelihood. So that alongside volatility expansion, which right here we did see a reset after the last sort of rally, again, is going to favor the BULAs. And we do see that HPDRO is looking like it might even get some positive curvature right there as well. We'd expect this to probably happen today if it's going to be happening no later than Friday, certainly as well. I mean, you can't really say certainly with that, but extremely likely, if we're going to see that one continue, very likely happens at the latest by Friday is what I'd say. If you don't see continuation by then, that would be concerning for the current rally. All right, sweet. So now that we've gone through that, let's get into, or let's revisit the 4-hour setup from yesterday's video. We have an update on that one as well. So yesterday we called out a setup here that fired off, just before yesterday's video, around 72,000 bucks price per Bitcoin. That was based off of 1, the uptrend on the 4-hour time frame, and then 2, extreme lows on the VMP indicator alongside the trading days that we do have on this one. Let me get down to it right here. Max stop loss at 5%, and just trades every day but Thursday. So this one opened yesterday, so that is valid. And basically, this one is going to close the trade if one of two things happens. One, if 5% from the entry to the downside was met, which obviously has not been met, or 2, if we do see that the VMP prints a 100 percentile read, which is actually going to have on this current closure in 1 hour and 37 minutes and 33 seconds, assuming that Bitcoin maintains here or higher by that closing by that closing time period. If Bitcoin does close lower, that number will likely go down, and if it goes down even by just 1 percentile, or even just by spot 1 of a percentile, then that would keep this still open. So here's the thing: if it does close at the end of this one, then this one's going to go into the win category, of course, but it's not going to play out as close to the average of the winning trades that we typically see for this setup, which is 5.5%. Wasn't that higher yesterday? Perhaps I changed something around. In fact, I probably did. As I was moving a lot of things around yesterday. And for reference right now, we've seen from that entry to the current high, like 2.25% about. So that would certainly be an underperformance of that. It's not necessarily like a bad thing. Just it is what it is. We do see variance in these results. For example, the past couple ones, 2 ones ago, we did see about a 5.5% move. So, that's actually right on the average as well. The one that we saw last week was 338. One before that one was a loss, a little bit of a small loss right there. And the one before that was way back on over here, and that was 7.70. So, at the end of the day, averages are averages. But I'm curious to see where this next one does close. If Bitcoin comes back down before this closure, then this will keep this trade. That will keep this trade open. And to be fair, if we were to add about 5.5% onto that current price action, or sorry, not current price action, but from where this one was opened, that would put Bitcoin at around 76,000 bucks, which again is in alignment with kind of like the next range high for the HPDR bands right over here. So I do think that does have again good confluence as far as like a targeted zone. Let's say between like 76 to 78, somewhere around there. I think also the 5-day has the 78.6 level coming in, where actually 76,000 bucks. So if you did play this one yesterday, cool. That's awesome. That's nice. But it's going to depend really what happens in this next hour and a half, if this one's going to be kept open or not. And to be fair, it is kind of around the average amount of days that we'd expect for this one to take as well. 20 bars on a 4-hour time frame. So this one was opened back here. Where does 20 bars put us from that? 20 bars puts us that would be potentially until Saturday. So Still pretty damn close, I would say. Anyways, I should let you know that if you want this tool, which will automate your back testing and also automate your trade execution if you so desire, you can find a link to it in the description below. It does have a sale going on for it right now, as does every product and service in our site. Yeah, I guess site, with the code HAPPY60 or in all capitals, just like that. As always, this is not going to be for everyone. You know, if you're new to trading or if you're new to any of this, or if this all just sounds like garbly good for you, it's probably not a good fit. You should probably learn like some basics first, which this would not be. This would be more of like an advanced thing. But if you're looking to systematize your own trading, in my opinion, in my very biased opinion, I do think it's the best tool that we have for that, and it's the best tool that I've really seen around, because it's right here on TradingView, and can automate your execution as well. And I just fucking love it. So, fair enough. And you can program this with just about anything that you have access to on TradingView. Of course, I give out some strategy templates as well that you can iterate off of, or you can just copy too. But that's again why I do say it's better that you actually have some experience that you can iterate, designed to your own preferences, which is that's really the sort of angle that I come at it from. Other than that, it's probably a good place for me to be leaving off. I should let you know, yes, later today, I will post a very low term time frame strategy for traditional markets, because I've been getting some questions if it works in other markets. Yeah, of course. I mean, the script is what the script is. Just, it's going to spit out whatever you input into it. So it works with any asset that you do have access to on TradingView. But yeah, I figured that would be a cool one to be looking at, because you don't really get 1 minute strategies in Bitcoin, whereas in traditional markets, yeah, it can be a lot more legitimate. Anyways, I'm just rambling on now. We've had some good insight into now how to choose rich. I'm still going to be poor, but it's all good. And with that said, I want to wish you the best as always. Tomorrow, probably not going to be a live stream, but next week, Monday and Friday is what I'm aiming for as far as live streams, and perhaps we'll maintain that onwards and forwards from here, at least as long as I'm in Dubai. So yeah, as always, wish you the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully tomorrow.